Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Hey, everybody. Hey there, boys and girls. How's everybody doing? I feel like this is an appropriate sound for today's talk. Indeed. Indeed. Indubitably. Chanson. Chanson's got his new 45 caliber Witness by Tenfoglio. That's cool. I expect to see exciting video of that, buddy. Alrighty. Here we go. We're doing it. We're live in the middle of the day, guys. Oh boy, so exciting. I know, I'm sending out my message to all my social medias. Post. Instagrams. At everyone. At everyone. All of the things and stuff. Okay, let's go to this one. We'll stream off of this. Hi, Evan. How's it going, buddy? How are you? Welcome to the show. We're on the path to 1 million subscribers. We're currently at 2,900 subscribers. So do you want to help us? What is going on? Here we go. We're sending out all the things and stuff. That's what I forgot to post it in. Forgot to post in one more place. One thing more. There we go. You're fine, thanks. Okay, you don't have to, it's cool. We talk about guns. We're talking about the news state. Did you know that Weezer, did you know that the bassist that plays for the band Weezer in LA, his wife was shot by the cops last night? Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whether or not that was the right thing to do or whether or not it was the most prudent thing to do. We're going to try to get to 1 million subscribers. It's going to be great. Do it. That's right. We're going to do it, Goose. We are going to get there. One day. One day I'll be at 1 million. One day. It might be 10 years from now, but it'll happen. It is going to happen. So, welcome everybody. Orange Smoke. I think you put some pictures in our group thing. At least pictures of. Dude, that looks pretty much. 15 years ago is when I had my witness, and it looks pretty much the same. They're solid. All right, I gotta go do a couple more things real quick. One thing more. Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Expose evil. I am in Utah. Evan, what am I doing? I was reading a message on my phone. One of my buddies, who's another he's another YouTube creator. He's getting a sponsor from an ammo company. He's another gun guy like me, and he's getting sponsored. So we're all really excited for him. It's really cool. So, anyways, it is not a Mossberg 500. It's a Winchester 120. So it's the civilian version of the police 1200 Ranger. You can buy the 1200 Ranger, just the civilian version has a longer barrel, so it's more for hunting. I guess I could always get the shorter barrel and install it myself. I wonder how much that would cost, actually. That might be, I just had a thought. I just had a thought. Yeah, scary. So anyways, as you see, I am on the path to 1 million subs, Evan and Expose Evil. And I am happy to have you here. I don't think I've seen either of you on my stream before. Maybe you've already subscribed. Maybe you've already liked this video. I don't know. But I am excited to talk to... Oh, I got to put on my below average hat. Got to put on the below average Utah hat. No, it's the streaming hat. This is the hat we wear when we stream. Because you never know when something zesty will pop out. Zesty. Wow. So, I gotta do this real quick too. Man, I'm on a roll. So anyways, my wife asked me first thing this morning, because she is all into like current celebrity events. Not that she cares or likes celebrities, just she gets notifications and stuff about it. Apparently, last night, in the wee hours, in the not communist police state at all land of California, the bass player for the band Weezer, he has a wife named Lauren, and she is an author. She writes kinds of stuff. That's what she does for a living. But anyways, she was shot by the LAPD last night. Now there's still a lot of questions and everything about what happened and what led to it. I mean, it's pretty well what led to it. It's just the circumstances of why she was shot. I think that's still a little bit more up in the air. But I want to talk about that today and why you need to police yourself. And also why you need to never live in California. So, all right, sorry. I play Pokemon Sleep, so I'm feeding my Snorlax right now. See him? He's all happy. He's got a great big fruit salad there. With his buddy Venusaur and Primeape, they're eating the foods. Yes, they are. Delicious Pokemon foods made from fruits and all natural vegan meats. Literally, they're vegan unless it's a slowpoke tail. They eat slowpoke tails. Don't ask me why those are allowed to be eaten, but bean sausage is the meat. Why? Why was she shot? That's an excellent question, and I think the LAPD is, if they're smart, they will, if they want to defend their stance of shooting this lady, they're going to have to release some body cam footage. But I don't know that that's going to happen. So we shall see. But I will talk about what happened. We'll read the article that I have. I'll even pull up the NPR article. And I don't really like NPR. But I will pull up the NPR article, and that's the one that we'll read because it's left-leaning, and so it will give us the more truthful, sympathetic version of why it was good that the police did that. Start review my sleep study. Okay, so let's pull up this article. Let's dive in. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna copy the link address and put it in my browser. Then I'm gonna read the article out loud. It's gonna make it fantastic. Dude, that guy, the bassist, he's got some jacked up teeth. Looks like he also has Hebrew tattoos. That's kind of cool. Cool. All right. Let's see. How are we doing? Let's see. What's on the how are we doing here? Why? Evan, I think you might be the only one in the chat. Is that song stuck in your head? A little bit. I don't know why. Songs pop into my head sometimes. I like to sing. I like to sing out loud. Oh man, I don't know that anybody is super interested in joining us today. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna hijack. Oh, gotcha. Thanks, bud. Where is? Let's go to Pistol Pete. We'll go drop this in Pistol Pete. He left his stream up. Pistol Pete Worldwide. If you are not subscribed to Pistol Pete Worldwide, I would highly recommend. Oh, he's back up.
Yes, that's correct. He goes, you're like me. Yeah, I am. Thank you very much. Would you like to start as well? I hope so. I'll check this out as awesome. Dan Scott says, will you get a picture of Herrera? I like them. But I like the look of
Okay. Just letting Pete know. Okay. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, I need to turn off my sound on his so that we're not getting his audio bleeding through. Okay. There is an AK behind me. That's a Chinese AK, Evan. It's a real one. All of my guns are real, Evan. In case you were wondering, if you weren't sure. Yeah, all my guns are real. So anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about this. Actually, let's do this. Let's make sure we change this. It's Jillian Lauren, shot by LAPD. That's what we're going to change it to. Edit video. It's a long path. One exclamation. Jillian Lauren, what the F? Why? Why? Why did they shoot her? Friends, why? Why did they think that was a good idea? Why did LAPD go, hey, you know what? We should shoot this lady. So we're gonna talk about it. Ava, you're good. I'm shiny. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and read the name of this article, and then we'll talk about it. We'll react to it. It says, Jillian Lauren. This is from NPR. What we know about police shooting of Weezer bassist wife. And this is as of 11:31 a.m. Eastern time. So that would be about an hour and a half ago. Or half an hour ago. But yeah, whatever. No, I'm not going to donate to you. Says Los Angeles police have booked Jillian Lauren, an author and the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner, on suspicion of attempted murder after an extraordinary sequence of events that included officers shooting at and wounding Lauren in the yard of her own home. Lauren suffered a non-life-threatening injury when she was shot. Her husband was not involved in the incident. She was released on bond Wednesday, and a court date has been set for April 30th, according to police records. NPR's request for comment from Lauren's business and legal representatives early Thursday was not immediately returned. The local prosecutor's office has also not yet replied to questions about potential charges against Lauren. Details about the shooting are still emerging. Here's what we know so far. It started with a car crash. It is a Marlin 22. It's not a 1022. It's the Marlin 22. It's got a tube magazine, buddy. Started with a crash. California Highway Patrol officers were pursuing 3 suspects who fled the scene of a misdemeanor hit and run on the Ventura Freeway Tuesday when they radioed for backup around 3:25 p.m. local time, according to a news release from the Los Angeles Police Department. Certainly. The suspects ran into the nearby Eagle Rock neighborhood west of Pasadena. A suspect was seen running behind a house on Waldo Place, the cul-de-sac street where Lauren lives. When officers reached the backyard of a house where the suspect was seen, they saw a woman, later identified as Lauren, holding a pistol in a neighboring yard. She is referred to as Jillian Lauren Schreiner in police documents. Lauren was shot and then surrendered. No shit. The officers ordered Schreiner to drop the handgun numerous times. However, she refused. She was in her own yard. The news release said Schreiner then pointed the handgun at the officers and an officer-involved shooting occurred. All right, that was probably bad on her part. Lauren, 51, went into her house after being struck by gunfire, according to the official account. Local TV news helicopters, which had been hovering above the area of the car crash, showed the scene as Lauren emerged from her home. She and another woman laid face down on the ground, and officers placed handcuffs on Lauren. The handcuffs were later removed, as Lauren was put on a stretcher and lifted into an ambulance. Police say she was treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to her shoulder, according to local TV channel KTLA, at a local hospital. The LAPD says a 9mm handgun was found at Lauren's home. Lauren was not involved with the hit and run, police say, but because of the encounter with police in her yard, she was absentee booked for attempted murder. An absentee booking is common in instances where a suspect is injured and receiving medical care rather than being processed into the jail system. As for the hit and run crash, one of the 3 suspects was detained, cited and released by California Highway Patrol. Lauren is an author. Then it goes into a little bit more about what she's done, adoption advocacy, talks about a serial killer named Samuel Little, and apparently being part of Prince Brunei's harem. Some girls, my life in a harem. So I guess she was involved in some kind of harem. Anyways, so let's talk about it. No, the gun underneath the 22 is a PSA Dagger Micro. It's a 9mm. Evan? Okay, so there's not a lot here. Just that there was a press release. Lauren Jillian Schreiner was shot by police. We don't know a whole lot, so now it's just conjecture. Okay, the first thing I'm going to say is, if you are ever involved in a situation and you have a firearm and the police are there, make it incredibly known that you are not a threat. If they say drop the gun, drop the gun. We've established that. However, now we're going to talk about the other side of it, because the police have some responsibility too. If the police show up to a home and I have a gun and I'm at my home and I say, hey, there's someone trying to break into my house and they're here in my yard and whatever, and I have them detained, maybe don't shoot me. I don't know that that's what happened, but I imagine if she's in her yard and it's adjacent to where they chased a suspect, I know that if I was in my yard and police were at another person's house and I had my gun, which I probably would, I'd be like, hey, they were over here. And if they then pointed their guns at me and said, drop your gun, I'd say, okay, I'm just letting you know that they were over here and I chased them into that yard instead of shooting them dead because I thought they were going to break into my house. What's going on? For all we know, and again, we don't know, they tried to break into Lauren Jillian's house, or Jillian Lauren's house. Jillian Lauren's house. Here's my issue with this whole situation is one of the suspects who's involved in the hit and run has been released. They're not going to charge the person for a hit and run. They've been released. Or at this point, they haven't said that they're charging them. But they've definitely shot, and now they're charging this lady with attempted murder. Why are they charging her with attempted murder? Was she actually trying to murder someone? Did she have premeditated, I know this person, I don't like them, and I think I want to go ahead and shoot them? Was she involved in the hit and run? It says that she wasn't involved with the hit and run. So there's a lot of things that happen. And I mean, no, I know not all cops are bad. I have a dog. Well, I have two dogs. But I have a Labradoodle, an F1 Labradoodle, and I have an American Standard Poodle. But that was a cat, I think, that walked by. We also have two cats. No, I'm all for the police. I have lots of friends that are cops. Orange. What I'm not for, is shooting a woman who it appears, if I'm piecing together what this story says, they're upstairs or outside right now. But we can maybe, if they come back in, I'll take some pictures of them, or I'll put them on the camera. But anyways, so we've got this situation where it seems like Lauren, legal gun owner, and it sounds like there was a hit and run, people trying to get away from the cops, trying to break into a house so that they can get away. I'm sorry, if you break into my home, I don't care what the reason is. You break into my home, you're probably going to be met with a gun. I don't know that I would say I'm Utah Rambo. I don't even have that many guns. Oh's crack. But hey, welcome to the show. I agree, Corey. I think we should have higher standards for cops. I think we should stop expecting cops to be... I don't know about that, because they're not military. They don't need to know how to go to war. But I think that they should know... I think they should have a little bit more, like, situational awareness training. So, and I'm not anti-cop. I like cops. I think 95% of police officers that are out there, I think they want to do good things. What I really don't like, is the fact that, and I don't necessarily, I think LAPD shooting her, if she pointed the gun at them, I understand why they shot her. What I don't understand is why is she being booked on attempted murder charges? Unless there is some very serious other situations that are added to this story. Why is she being booked on murder charges? And like, if people tried to invade her home, why wasn't she allowed? Like, 100%, somebody invaded my home, I chased them back out or flashed a gun at them and they ran out. 100%, I'm going out into my yard to make sure they don't freaking come back. I'm gonna, hey, probably don't come back in here, because if you start coming towards me, I'm gonna take that as a threat. And I have a gun, so if you're still gonna come towards me, it's definitely you ignoring the fact that I'm willing to defend myself. Corey, yeah, it's called Below Average Utah Dad. It's literally Below Average Utah Dad. All of my social media is Below Average Utah Dad, Corey. So, I think there's a lot of questions that are going on. I think that LAPD needs to be held accountable. I'm fine with LAPD shooting someone that's threatening their lives. I'm fine with them taking the action that they did if she didn't comply. Truly, I am. All right? I think that's bad on her part. What I'm not fine with is booking her for murder if she just had a gun. If they're saying because she waved a gun and it happened to be pointed at them. That's why I want them to release the body cam footage, because I want to know, was it, who are you? And then the cops unload on her and shoot her with 9mm? Or was it like, he was just here, and like turns like this? If it was that, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. If I get it, the gun is pointed your way, but like, not to pull the police brutality card on you, but like, if she was complying in some way, if she was responding, all right, if she was turning, like, did somebody also have non-lethal force that they could have used against her? Because, like, I think she's lucky to be alive. If you're shooting a gun, if you're a police officers are not trained to shoot to wound. They're trained to neutralize the threat, just like any good instructor would do. So, I think she's lucky to be alive. The Weezer wife, I think she's lucky to be alive. Because I think that they were probably trying to neutralize her, because she had a gun. What I want to know is, and I want to see the footage. Go for it, Orange. I want to see the footage. If she turned away and that's how they say she pointed the gun at them, did she have her hand down, or like was she like this, and then she went to put her hands down to drop the gun and like lie on the ground, and then we're just gonna shoot her now, like there's also a certain amount of like, there's accountability there. Sure, if she was, who are you? Yes, shoot her. I would shoot her too. Like, I'm sorry, but if I have a gun pointed at me, but there's a difference between pointing a gun and it was the middle of the day. Hey, Cool Cat, what's going on? Welcome to the show. We're talking about what happened to the Weezer lady. The bass player of Weezer, his wife got shot like on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we're talking about it. Dude, Ammo, do you live in California? Two-A veteran. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the channel. Glad to see you here. I am also a 2A veteran. So yeah, I think as people, and obviously I'm in Utah, but I fully intend, if there's ever a situation like that here in Utah, I think police should be held accountable. Like, we need to set that standard. we need to let our states and our local municipalities know that while we want police officers there to help keep the peace, to help enforce laws, to arrest people that break the law, and to make sure that our prosecutors prosecute people that violate the law. We want that because that's how we maintain law and order. That's what justice is. It's when that doesn't happen, like in this case. They shot the homeowner, the neighbor of a homeowner, and they let one of the people go. The other two they didn't catch because they were too busy shooting at this other lady. Too busy shooting at Jillian Lauren. Come on, guys. If we're going to be advocates of any kind, if we're going to be users of... Oh, wow, I didn't expect that to happen in a Pokemon game. I have 3 ARs behind me, Evan. I have 3 ARs. I have a 9mm, a 5.56, and I have a 6.5. I have a 5.56 NATO, and I have a 6.5 Creedmoor. I want to make sure that I'm being very clear, because there's like 4 6.5 calibers or 6 caliber, 6mm caliber rifles. So, yeah. Let's hold our police accountable. And it's not a bad thing to do that. Just like we should hold, when Donald Trump, who I voted for, everything that's going on with the government, I'm more or less approving of. There's some things I'm like, maybe there's a better way to do that, but I'm not a politician. He's running things like a business, so that's what I expect to happen. I expect them to take care of things. But when he says things that are stupid, and when he makes threats that are stupid, I'm going to be like, hey, that was stupid. We're not going to actually try to make Canada, we're not going to forcibly go in and make Canada, like, we're not going to conquer Canada. That's literally the same thing that Russia's doing. We're not going to actually do that. He says things to rile people up. We're not going to force Iceland or Greenland to become a state either. We're not going to force like in Panama, we're not going to force the Panama Canal to belong to us. Now, there is some military strategic reasons why working with the Panamanians and maybe having more oversight and stuff with the Panama Canal is a good thing. There's a lot of reasons why having a strong presence in Iceland is a good thing. But we're not going to go and conquer those places. Now, if those places want to have negotiations and there wants to be legislation and diplomacy and they want to become, like Puerto Rico or the West Indies or, Guam, and they want to become territories, I'm all for that. Shoot, if they want to become states, I'm all for it. It's a little hard to defend a state that's that far away and not really remotely attached to your nation, but that's fine. We can find a way to make that happen. Anyhow, hold people accountable. People that are in power should be held accountable. The LAPD, any police force. Police forces have power. Trump is sometimes being dumb. He does say a lot of dumb things. I think he has pretty good people. I'm not a huge fan of Pam Bondi. I do like Kash Patel. I really like JD Vance. I like Pete Hegseth. Sabita, which one is better, sniper rifle or a mask man's rifle? What's a mask man's rifle? Sabita, what is a mask man's rifle? Also, 2A Vet, have you, I don't think I've seen you on the channel before. This is your first time here, if you're still watching. Cool Cat, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore your thing. You said, Irornyup. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I agree, that's the purpose of it. I support being involved with Iceland, just like we're involved with Norway now. I think it's great that Norway is going to be a part of NATO. I think that's awesome. But yeah, and it riles people up. It draws attention to Trump. That's, for him, that's a good thing. That's the way that you make things happen, is by drawing attention to yourself. If you stay in the spotlight, you know, if people are going to be too busy getting mad at things that Trump says, that they're not opposing good, positive policies that help our nation to be more secure, and to be more successful, more fiscally responsible, like, I'm all for it. I say yes. Make that happen. That's a good thing, to quote Bernie Sanders. I'm going to disagree with you on that one, Emma. But as I've said in the past to lots of people on the channel, like, I have a different insight and perspective because I'm in the military. So it's a little different. It's a little different when, well, your wife's in the military, so there is that. What does she think about building bases? The problem, here's my concern with just looking inward. In the past, every time we've looked inward and we've gone to a more seclusionist outlook, whenever we've done that, a major global conflict breaks out. Whenever we've started pulling away from things, major global conflict breaks out. Yeah, having an air base in Afghanistan, although I read somewhere, speaking of Afghanistan, I read that I thought I read somewhere that the Taliban handed over Kabul. I don't know, there's reports that we retook Kabul. I don't think we did. I think we would know about that. That seems a little... my favorite gun, Evan, is my AK right now. Right now, it's my AK. Chanson, welcome back. So... do I get it? I get not wanting to be in Europe. Was your wife in the military and that's why you guys were over there? Or your wife, you've said in the past your wife is military. I assume it's because she's in the military that you guys were there. Is that a fair assessment, Emma? Which there's arguments to be made about whether or not the U.S. should be the global police force. I don't necessarily believe that we should be the global police force, but I do believe that as the premier defender of democracy and democratic republics and constitutional republics, that when we see evil, we should defend against it. And when we do things like, I don't know, abandon our allies in Afghanistan, because that's what we did, that certainly doesn't set the precedent of we care about our allies. I think we need to be involved with. I think the involvement we've had with Ukraine isn't necessarily wrong. I think the accountability there, and again, goes back to accountability. I think holding Ukraine accountable for what they've been given and what we are given, I think that needs to be a little bit more. I have not shot anything with the AK, only paper, Evan. I have not shot anything. Well, I take that back. I've killed lots of like squirrels and stuff and rabbits with my 22 and eaten them. But I have not. Oh, and I've also shot pigeons and doves and ducks and geese with that shotgun. Because I know you'd asked that question. I wanted to make sure that I answered it. But I also think that by having a presence and being invested in that region, that helps build stability. And I think that continuing to fund something that is going to inevitably end up in a loss doesn't make sense. So finding a way to use diplomacy and negotiation to build peace in the region, I think that's a very good thing. I think that's something we need to do. No, Evan, I don't have a 22 pistol. I just have 9mm. I have only 9mm. So, like, I don't want us to be at war. I don't like war. I don't like being away from my family. I don't like those things. But I understand that there is a certain level of accountability and responsibility, like I said, when it comes to keeping our nation secure. Which region are you referring to? Dangerous? Agreed. It goes exactly back to what I have said many, many times. A peaceful person isn't someone who is incapable of violence. It's someone who is capable of violence. They might be, Evan. They might not. You never know. They're definitely all the ones that anybody gets to see. So as far as anybody that watches it, yeah, going overseas sucks, man. I've been overseas multiple times. I've been to the Pacific. I've been to like not Guam. I've stopped in Guam, but I've been in Japan. I've been in the South China Sea doing cyber stuff and setting things up and doing security views for agile combat employment. I've been to the Middle East a couple times. I've been to Europe. I feel you, man. I haven't been to Africa though. I kind of want to go to Africa. So I get it. Being away from your family sucks. Being there, fighting, and keeping the peace when it's not your country, that kind of sucks. But every time the U.S. has stopped having a presence or stopped being more forward, yeah, Steve, a great place to look are those are contracting companies, because a lot of times they'll sponsor you. They might sponsor you small, but elevating your clearance once you have it is usually just a matter of sponsorship. It's a matter of this is the role that we want them in, and we want them to have this, and so they work forward. But yeah, take a look at those things. I actually sent your email to a couple of other. So a lot of times, it's a contingency thing. They'll work towards helping you get your clearance, and then you can get the position. So it just kind of depends on the position. But if you have enough experience and capability, they'll work with you on getting the clearance. There's ways to do that. So yeah, no problem. And there's lots of roles that are out there that don't require a clearance. So don't there's a lot of stuff that happens in the cyber world and in the development world that's related to government stuff that doesn't require a clearance that I think you'd be a good fit for. So definitely take a look at it. It's not going to be with necessarily directly with the government. It'll probably be with a contractor. But yeah, take a look at that. I think you'd enjoy it. Exactly. Dangerous. Exactly. But kind of going back to, accountability of things. We went into Afghanistan, whether we, as members of the military or the veteran community, whether we think we should have gone, Evan, we cannot do live streams and touch guns. You cannot touch firearms on a live stream. That's a YouTube policy. But I have lots of videos and shorts of you can see me shooting my guns at a gun range, and a lot of the people that are subscribed to me and that I subscribe to, they also shoot guns and have lots of gun shooting videos. So you can definitely go check all those guys out. Like whether we agree with why our politicians and our leaders have us go to war, when we volunteer to uphold and defend the Constitution, we're trusting that their purpose in having us go take military action is in defense of that Constitution and of the United States. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that. I mean, that's where we have opportunities to do whistleblowers, be whistleblowers, bring things up. There's risk in that. I mean, you've been in, I'm in. I know what the risk is of being a whistleblower. I know firsthand what the risk is of being a whistleblower. I've brought things up before, and I've had it negatively affect my experience in the military. It happens. So then the question becomes, what's more important to me? Bringing up that we're here doing things based on a perception that's incorrect, or continuing to serve my country? And I guess that's where you have to make that determination. I've worked in operation centers, like centrally located operation centers. Toxic leadership is a real thing. And toxic leadership is almost always because of trickle down. When you have leaders in specific roles, they're in those roles because they were placed there, and they were placed there and got promotions because the people above them thought that they more idealistically matched their particular ideology. It's not uncommon. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. Dangerous is like Afghanistan. So Afghanistan holds a special place in my heart. I have friends that perished in Afghanistan. I have my dad was an instructor pilot who was basically the #1 instructor pilot. He was in charge of all flight operations and flight instruction at Kabul. All right. So all those people, all those female pilots in Afghanistan, that were learning how to fly the reconnaissance aircraft and Mi-7s and Mi-8s to help them sustain their own efforts or to be as self-sufficient as possible. My dad was involved in that, and I think that's awesome that he did that. What breaks my heart about Afghanistan is that he really cared about all these young, smart, well-educated Afghanis that wanted to better their country, that wanted their country to not be a terrorist cesspool, that wanted it to be westernized, that wanted it to kind of be like the new Dubai, because there was a real opportunity, a real intelligence and security opportunity with Afghanistan. We'd done a lot of good there. There were still people that were there that didn't want Americans there, but they were very, they're very propagandized is the way that I would say that. Based on what you've said. That one? That's my 9mm AR, Evan. So, when you take that into consideration, and then we just, nope, we're going to quit. We're just going to quit. We should have treated Afghanistan, we should have approached Afghanistan the same way we have Japan, the same way we have Germany, and France, and Poland. All right? We should have, okay, there was a major conflict here. A major conflict. We've been here for 20 years. All right? The people that attacked our nation on September 11th, 2001, like, that was... Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, there are words. There's just no good ones. What's going on, Cooking? So, the whole point, I totally like just scratched my nuts on top on freaking YouTube Live. Yeah. The whole point is that, like, the way that the leadership during the pullout of Afghanistan, the way that they worded that, and the way that they tried to present it is, they portrayed it as the most successful airlift and evacuation in history. And that's, I want to make sure I'm very careful how I say this. That's not an incorrect statement, all right? But it's flawed. Kind of like when we say, well, guns aren't the number one killer of children, as defenders of the Second Amendment, all right? As a defender of the, a staunch 2A absolutist, all right? I also acknowledge that when organizations say guns are the number one killer of children in the United States, that is a flawed statement, but it is not inherently incorrect. But there's a lot of data that you have to analyze to understand why that statement is true, but also so incredibly flawed that it's just used as propaganda. So, the same thing can be applied to Afghanistan. To say that it was the most successful airlift in history, that's true. We pulled all kinds of people and personnel and equipment and classified data. We did all of that in like 48 hours. It was like nothing. That's amazing. The logistics of that was amazing. The fact that we did it is not so much something to be celebrated. We shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have done it. And so I get the argument of, well, we shouldn't have been in Afghanistan if we were just going to leave it anyways after 20 years. Like, what a better statement would be to say is, we just shouldn't have left Afghanistan. We should have stuck to it. We should have treated it like Germany or Japan or any other nation where a major conflict or source of conflict originated and just make it a stronghold for multiple reasons. But Emma, who did 9/11? The Taliban. When it comes to things surrounding 9/11 and what happened that day, I am very much not a conspiracy theorist, and I have my reasons for that. Not everybody likes it, because there's always going to be people who think that there was more going on and more on the inside than what is. I'm going to be honest, Evan. I don't know. I don't know why they're saying cooking bars, but you know what? I let my chat. I let my chat kind of do their own thing. They can use my space. If they want to talk about bars, they can talk about bars. But yeah, I believe 100% that it was the Taliban. I have reason for that. So, anyways, that kind of was a really long, strange tangent that we went on there. But it also kind of goes back to accountability. Hold leaders accountable. Hold politicians accountable. Don't let people get away with things that they shouldn't. Why did the LAPD shoot this lady and then charge her with attempted murder? Is it so that they can justify shooting her? Because I'm not okay with that if that's the case. I want to see, like, if there's a case for attempted murder, and let's remember what murder is. It's the premeditated notion of I'm going to try to kill someone. So, if that's not what she was doing, then it's not. You could say it's attempted manslaughter with a deadly weapon. But if you have to slap her with attempted murder so that you can justify the fact that you guys were not as cautious or as situationally aware about who she was and what was going on, that's on you, LAPD. Not saying that they were right, not saying that they were wrong. Same thing about her. I'm saying there's a lot of questions, and it's weird that someone was charged with attempted murder when there were people breaking into houses in their neighborhood. Unless that's just another reason to not live in California, where, hey, you have to let someone break into your house. You can't try to shoot them or stop them. Oh, I 100% believe that there needs to be better training. I think there needs to be a major overhaul, especially in cities like LA, because in states like California and Texas and Florida and New York, their police forces aren't just police forces. They're paramilitary organizations. They are huge. Like let's Google that. How many members how many police officers in the LAPD? 8,000 sworn officers just for LA. 8,000 sworn officers in LA. That's a lot. That's a lot. And honestly, it's probably not enough police officers for LA. It's a YouTube channel. It's a YouTube channel where they cook. Go check it out. So, I don't know that all 8,000 of them are DEI hires. My guess is that there's quite a few good police officers. It's, oh, we're talking about guns and police and holding the police accountable and holding your politicians and your leaders and things like that accountable. What about you, Fervent? How are you? Welcome to the show. We're trying to get to 1 million subs. I'm currently almost to 3,000. It's a long path. But with everyone's help, I can do it. Do you want to be a part of it? Yeah. Double tap your screen. Check and make sure your like button works. So, yes, they are. They are real guns. They are all real guns, including the Nerf ones. The Nerf ones are really Nerf guns. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate it, buddy. You stuck around. You've stuck around for a while. I kind of figured you probably liked the stream and subscribed. So I appreciate you doing that. I don't have all of the. I just stream off of my when I do my stream. I have a little phone. I don't have a good enough computer and cameras and stuff like that. I just stream off of a spare iPhone that I have. So that's just how I roll. Maybe one day I'll have good enough stuff that I can make it super cool and fancy like some of the other guys that are out there. That would be nice. But for now, it's just iPhone. Just the iPhone. So, yeah. So hold your leaders, hold the police accountable. Don't stand by and the full size Pez dispenser is in the bag today. The one with the red dispensing switch. Where are you from, Fervent? Hey guys, we got somebody from not the U.S. here. Let's give him there's not a lot of us, but let's give him a round of applause. Say hi to Fervent. Have I been snagging? Do I snag on my bag? Or on my clothes? Oh, cool. I can't remember where that is, but that's cool. I'm guessing it's somewhere in Asia. I don't think it's in Africa. Oh, I heard all the clapping. It was wonderful. I heard it all the way here. I have been snagging before, Evan, in Alaska. It's not my favorite. I'd rather just go fly fishing or catch things. I believe that there's a lot of that land that's still disputed in Asia. In and around that region. You're going this Friday to Dumas? That's pretty cool. I'm going on Saturday to see the stand-up comedian Kayvon. Oh, that's cool, Dangerous. Okay. Yeah, that's no fun to be stuck in the middle. Dumas. Like Dumas Beach? Dumas, Texas. Evan? Yeah. I think there's a lot of places over there. I mean, shoot. Isn't China still doesn't recognize Tibet. I feel like there's something. I think there's still Arkansas, and I feel like there's still some dispute over Nepal, isn't there? China is trying to claims that everything that touches the South China Sea is theirs. There was that one time the Mongol Genghis Khan took over almost all of Asia and parts of Africa and parts of Europe, and the Chinese claim that since Mongol at one point may have been part of China, that they have the rights still. Like, it's weird. The Chinese make arguments like that all the time. So yeah, they're strange. They've got some strange. Sorry, when I say the Chinese, I don't mean the Chinese like regular civilian people. I do mean the government of China. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. I do like to travel, and there's a lot of places I haven't been to that I want to, and there's a lot of places I have been to that I didn't think I would ever go, and now I really like it there. Like, I've been to Palau, which I know is not Kashmir, but I never thought I would go to Palau, and I did, and I really loved it there. I want to take my family to Palau one day. Uh-oh. That was weird. The Iron Bolt. How's it going, friend? Hello. Welcome. That's good, Fervent. I'm glad. I'm glad that it's chill. I mean, as I would, based on what you said about how there's like 3 different places that are claiming it belongs to them, it's as chill as it can be. Thank you. Welcome. This is the first time I've seen you here. We do a lot of gun stuff. We were talking about the LAPD shooting someone without really telling us why. We talked a little bit about global conflicts. We talk a lot about guns. Just during the day, I said I wanted to talk about what happened in LAPD. So, and then we started talking about holding people accountable. It's General Kenobi. Thanks, General Kenobi. You have fun. I have not seen any effect from the China tariffs yet. None at all. And I'm pretty sure that I have been awarded stock in Amazon because of all the crap we buy from Amazon. So, as far as I can tell, I have not seen anything negative happen from the China tariffs. Can you send to my Nipper email? then I'll review it and then post everything. Thanks, bud. Didn't have to do that. And you guys are going to be there tomorrow to do MPE with the pilots, correct? So, oh, my favorite gun that I have right now, Bolt, is my Chinese AK. You're good, J-Dog. I appreciate you stopping in. I might check that out, Evan. I grew up in Alaska, so I'm pretty familiar with what snagging is when you use the great big like weighted treble hook. I've seen people do that with great big old king salmon and pike and silver salmon. I'm pretty familiar with what I believe the snagging is, but it could be different than what I'm thinking of. But I've seen people do that a lot. Yeah, dangerous. I think you're correct. I think it's going to affect things more like Temu and Wish and Shein and Alibaba. I think it's going to affect that more than it's going to affect Amazon. I think Amazon has enough product stateside now. You want to wear tactical vests and stylish shop? I'm sure that, dude, you're right there. I'm sure that you could order some from India. I'll bet they've got some. I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same quality as what we have here, but I'm willing to bet that you could find some stuff pretty easily online. Hey, we're going to do something fun. We're going to move. We're going to move upstairs. I just realized. I have a very important chore that I need to do. And I'm going to let you guys all be a part of it. It's going to be so much fun. Yes, Evan, they just snag salmon. And that's it. They just use the hooks to snag them and grab onto them. So I think you guys will enjoy this. Maybe. I hear an air fryer. What? Are you cooking something in the air fryer? I'm going to. Sweet. All right. It might be a little loud, guys, so I apologize for that. But that's okay. Oh, yeah. We're upstairs in my kitchen. There's my son, Ezra. He's affectionately known as Eli by the YouTube world.
I'm doing the blank face.
I see that. Okay.
What are you gonna make?
I'm gonna prep dinner.
Oh.
So that's gonna be fun.
What is dinner?
We're gonna do salmon bowls. Somebody mentioned salmon.
Huh.
So I just realized. Hey. Okay.
I didn't check how many kilos.
Danger. Yes, it's a Norinco. It's a Type 56. It was an NHM 90.
I don't think
but I
4 is
converted
enough.
it.
I'm gonna make like not sure.
So, thanks. Okay. Stand by. Boom. That's why I bought this counter. With some chemicals. Alrighty. Here we go. Need that in a minute. Okay, first, wipe down the counter. Just with some water. Get it wet.
Alexa set.
Soften up anything that's on your counter. we go. We're gonna do that. Salmon is delicious raw. It's delicious when it's raw. It's called sushi. Did you know that most salmon that you can buy at grocery stores has been flash frozen and has been processed and controlled in its environment well enough that it's considered sushi grade? Yeah. Okay, now we're going to spray with our chemicals. Now that we wiped it down with some water. Nothing like some Lysol. Okay. Never forget when you wipe down your counter, get it wet first, wipe it down, spray it with your cleaner, wipe it down, then rinse off your towel that you wiped it down with, or use a different towel if you don't want to risk it. But always rinse off your thing and then re-wipe it down one more time to clean off the chemicals, because you have to clean the surface and then wipe off the chemicals, because if you just wipe the chemicals on it and let it dry, you leave the chemicals on the counter. So always. Well, that was my basement. I'm in my basement. My office and where I film everything is down in my basement. Okay. So we're going to get our handy dandy cutting board out. Agreed, dangerous, agreed. I spent almost 20 years in Alaska. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a good recipe for salmon. I'm going to show you guys. It's really easy stuff. This is one of the most important tools for any kitchen. If you cook salmon or you cook any other type of fish, right here. A pair of angled needle nose pliers. And here you go, fresh Alaskan salmon. We caught this over the summer. What's nice is salmon. I'll show you guys up close. Now this is pink salmon, so it's not quite as desirable as red salmon or silver salmon, affectionately known as sockeye or Chinook salmon. Sorry, that's sockeye is red salmon. Chinook is king salmon. I can't remember what silver salmon is called. So there's pink. The four main edible types of salmon are pink, silver, king, and red. King is the fattier salmon. There's a lot of fat in king salmon. That's what you usually see, like in sushi. You can sometimes see silver salmon in sushi, I think, but more often than not, it's king. You don't really see red salmon. Red salmon's really lean. So. Yeah, I actually don't have a problem with Atlantic salmon, as long as it's well cared for. It can be a little bit invasive. So okay, so I'm just patting my salmon dry, and what we're gonna do, you can look. I'm gonna bring the camera closer. Alrighty. So if you look, maybe. You can see right here, there's actually little bones. So I'm gonna debone the salmon, and there's some little pieces I need to trim. You can see here, there's like a piece of fin right here and right here. I'm gonna trim that off. So, we're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna make this work. All right. For those of you that don't have one, invest in a really good kitchen knife. It's worth it. And then make sure you keep it sharp. This one's not very sharp right now. Full disclosure, it's not. I'm going to switch to my other knife. You go get that one sharpened. This is my really fancy knife. This is a Meissen knife. There we go. There we go. And I just throw my little bits and pieces into the garbage disposal. I don't care. But what I was going to say was, what I like about salmon is I like how fatty the skin is. Tastes good. But also, the other thing that's nice about salmon is that their scales are so small, you don't have to worry about scaling salmon. You can just eat it. You can just eat the scales. Casual Mechanic, what's going on, buddy? Let's see, what did I miss? Where are we? Cool. If everybody would love, if everybody would give me sorry, I'm looking at my phone. If everybody give me a thumbs up, give me a like and a sub if you haven't, that would be super awesome. Look at that. We went from talking about police to prepping salmon. So here's the fun part. This is probably the most tedious part of making any type of fish that you fillet, is you have to debone your fish. I know people that don't, that they just say, nah, you just deal with it. You spit it out when you get a piece of bone in your mouth. I don't like to do that. I like to just enjoy my food. I don't feel like food should be a chore while I'm trying to eat it. So we're going to do this. I'm going to debone this whole fillet, and I have 2 more that I need to do.
Air fryer is all yours.
Maybe that. Have my son hold the phone. No, this is fine. It's fine. He's working on homework. He's got to do homework. He can't hold the phone.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. Uh-huh.
I don't think this is good enough. Alexa set 3 minutes timer. I'll get to finance soon, but real quick. Cat on.
Okay, I am preparing food. I do not need a cat over here.
Oh yeah.
I'm preparing food. So.
Whoops.
All of the. It's a good question. Here, I'll show you. So I've got 3 more fillets that I'm gonna have to do this to. Don't worry, I won't have you guys watch me do all of the fillets, but there's my freezer. Salmon, 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 salmon. Cod, halibut, rockfish, more salmon, chicken, salmon, 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 salmon. I went fishing in Alaska with my family last summer, so yeah, that's all fresh caught salmon. Flash frozen, stayed frozen till I unthaw it. And that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize. If you get salmon and it's frozen, you get it flash frozen, like from a local, say like a local butcher or supplier that's like a fish importer, it's probably as fresh as this. Well, so one of the goals of the channel, obviously I'm below average Utah Dad, one of the goals of the channel is that if I start to have the freedom, if we get to 1 million subs, but if we start to get the freedom, we start to get sponsored and stuff, because I grew up in Alaska, I know a lot of really good places to go fishing and I have a lot of good connections. I would love to go and do some hunting and fishing trips and make some of those my videos. If I ever go like on a TDY or something, I'll still be below average Utah Dad and you guys won't see me in uniform. But I will do my best to try to incorporate the channel into those trips. They'll probably be less gun focused unless I'm hunting somewhere, and be a lot more just kind of the culture and the region. But how cool would that be to see some random gun tube creator go travel and...
Air fryer is all yours when you need it.
Thank you. I'm not going to use it until tonight. I'm just going to put this in the marinade.
Then talk about why air fryers are cool.
Air fryers are cool. Air fryers are cool because they're just convection ovens that sit on the counter. So, yeah, so I think I've had salmon bahi ferment. Dog women. So sushi restaurants are actually required to flash freeze all of their fish here in the United States anyways. They're required to flash freeze because that's the only way to guarantee that the fish and any potential bacteria have been killed. Because bacteria can live inside fish if it's not flash frozen to, I think it's got to be like minus 32 degrees, and it has to stay that way once it's flash frozen to minus 32 degrees, or if it's flash frozen to minus 32 degrees even once, then it'll kill all the bacteria. If it's not flash frozen to 32 degrees, it has to be flash frozen to 0 degrees, or it needs to be frozen to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and then maintained at 0 degrees Fahrenheit I think for like 15 days, in order to guarantee that there's no bacteria that are oh, they're still there. All right. Here we go. Just double checking to make sure that this, and to prove a point. Here we go. Here we go. Fresh raw salmon. Right there. There we go. And this is pink salmon, so it tastes, pink salmon basically tastes like trout. That's what I think. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands again. Look at that. Good night, Fervent. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this cool technology called a Ziploc bag. But we're going to season our salmon first. But we're going to keep the seasoning really, really simple to start off. This was fresh or flash frozen back in July to negative 35 degrees, and then it has stayed frozen in my freezer until a couple days ago. Actually, until when was it? I was gonna go shooting with some of the guys from my group, and we didn't end up going. Some of them couldn't go. My truck had some issues. A couple things happened. But no, I'm not worried about bacteria in this particular piece of fish. Thanks, Casual. Thank you. So, this is a very special seasoning. It's called monosodium glutamate. It's kind of like salt, but it tastes a little bit salty and a little bit umami. There's also a little element of sweetness to it. It's made from seaweed. It has a really good, yummy flavor. You can put it on steak. It's really, really great. It's a natural seasoning. It has less sodium than salt, so that's really good. So I'm just going to season the flesh with a little bit of monosodium glutamate. Don't tell anyone, Casual. If you say it like that, they'll know the secret. All right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take some spicy chili crisp. We're going to put it in our Ziploc bag. Like this. Okay. I don't know what brand this is. Lauganma. It has soybean oil, chili, onions, fermented soybeans, monosodium glutamate, salt, sugar, pepper, powder, salt. It's got all kinds of good chemicals in it. All kinds of good chemicals. I like chemicals. I like to season my food with chemicals because I think it tastes better. Tastes better with chemicals. All natural chemicals. Oh, 100% Casual. I put it on everything savory that I cook. My wife doesn't even ask anymore. She knows what's going to be in it. By the way, everybody, if you are not using spicy chili crisp in your food, you are missing out. You need to be using more spicy chili crisp in your food. It is so good. I make burger sauce with spicy chili crisp. Oh man. I will culturally appropriate spicy chili crisp and MSG to my heart's content. Yes, sir. It's a highly technical method of taking plastic off of marinades and stuff. It's called using your teeth. And yes, I could use that knife that's right over there on the table, but I don't want to because I want to use my teeth because I don't want to dull my knife. Okay, so for our marinade, one, you have to live in Utah. So for our marinade, I go. Oh, forgot something else. Where are you at? There we go. There's another key ingredient in this marinade. Okay. I like Asian flavors when I make, because I'm making salmon rice bowls. So I'm gonna make some rice and stuff. But we also need to get, so this is gochujang, which I believe is Korean. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Korean. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of gochujang. I'm gonna put it in this cup. You can use a cup or bowl or whatever. Alright. And all I'm doing is I'm just dissolving the gochujang. Alright, I think that's mostly dissolved. Alright, so the reason I do that is because I'm going to put teriyaki sauce in there, but I want the gochujang because it adds just a little bit of like a fermented bean and some spices, a little bit of sweetness into it. But you do this so that you really get the gochujang, because it's just going to marinate, and this helps spread the teriyaki by putting a little bit. You would normally put a little bit of water to dilute the teriyaki just to help it coat your food a little bit better anyways. So now, if you're gonna have to add water anyways, why not? That's right, I licked the bottle of this marinade and then I put the lid back on. I don't care. So now, look at that, there's almost no difference in the marinade. It's like nothing's wrong, but now it's got some gochujang flavor. What type of truck do I drive? I drive a 2018 F-150 Limited with the EcoBoost. All right, and now we put in our salmon fillet. There we go. Let's get our next fillet out and let's do it. Let's throw this salmon fillet away. So this one, I'll show you. It looks like this one, the bag unsealed at some point. So I'm not going to use that. But what I'll do, I'll give it to my dogs. So that other one didn't have any air gaps. There wasn't a bunch of fluid at the bottom like this. There was fluid, but it wasn't like this. And I can see a little bit of discoloration in the meat, and I don't trust that, so. Hey. Come here. Come here. No, I don't remove the bones for the dog. Okay, so here, I don't know if you guys saw. See the difference in the color? See how there's fluid, but it's not like browning, and it doesn't have. There's not a bunch of air gaps in it. That's how I know. And that happens when you take it to like. This was all processed, like I said, back in July. And so even when it's completely sealed, if the time of flash freezing or anything like that, if there was a gap in the things, the ones that I've done, my salmon, I double seal my vacuum bags, because I also have a vacuum seal. My neighbor behind my house was yelling at my dogs because he's got a little teeny dog, and my dogs went over there to sniff and bark and talk, and he was yelling at him. This is a dick. Oh yeah. See that nice kind of pinkish white flavor or color? It's good stuff. Good stuff. What do we got? So, okay, let's do this one. So anyway, so that's gonna be what we use. We're gonna use MSG. We've already got our marinade made. We're gonna do this to this fillet, then we're gonna do it to the next fillet. Then I'll show you what's gonna go in the rest of our dinner, the dinner for tonight. So I have daughters that run. I have an 11-year-old. She just joined her first track team. It was like a city track team here, and my older daughter is on the cross country and track team at our high school. She's a sophomore, so she's on the JV team. But she's improved greatly, and so one of the big things that we like to do, I know I don't look it because I eat junk food a lot, but we actually do try to maintain some semblance of eating healthy. So this is one of those things, this is one of those meals that I really like because I always feel really good afterwards. You feel really full, and it just tastes really good. And it's one of those dishes that you can make in a single dish. It's a meal that you can make. You use multiple things to make your dish, but you put it all in one dish and then you just kind of mix it up, and it's really good. You get all the different flavors and textures, which is important to have texture and flavor differentiation. I'm fat. There's a reason I'm fat. It's because I like food. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job of looking at the... I do like catfish. I like catfish a lot. So I used to live in Mississippi. I was on I did a school for the Air Force in Mississippi, in Biloxi. And I was there for a little over 6 months, back in 2017. And yeah, I really love catfish and hush puppies and southern food. And the downside to got a little bit of a chili oil stuck in my throat. The downside to liking that food, especially after having lived in Biloxi and the South, is that now every time I go somewhere, none of it tastes good. I have not eaten gar. I've eaten alligator. Does it taste like alligator? I've eaten sandhill crane. I like sandhill crane. That's the other thing about this pink salmon. The flesh is really, really, really tender. Like it just kind of falls apart. Again, this is pink salmon is not as good as silver or red or king salmon, but it's still pretty good stuff. Again, it's a lot more mild. It's a lot more like a trout. Doesn't have that strong flavor that catfish has. It's a very lean salmon. I mean, all salmon has fat, but pink salmon is probably part of why it's more mild, because it doesn't have as much fat as other salmon. Okay. Still got some bones here to pull out. I can really smell this marinade now that it's like got the fish in it. Oh, what's going on? You know, it's funny because, like, growing up in Alaska, I never liked pink salmon because you could just get red salmon or king salmon, or silver salmon, which all, like, definitely taste better than, like, they do. They taste better than pink salmon. But Now that I'm not in Alaska, what's funny is I have friends that are like, I just throw away pink salmon when I go, I feed it to my dogs. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't have that luxury. I like pink salmon now. Because pink salmon is better than no salmon. I don't think I have any bones left in this. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I don't think that's bone. Okay, I'm gonna call this one good. Alright, sorry I'm ignoring you guys. All two of you. Evan, don't stay on. If you want to get off, Evan, you can get off. Nobody asked to stay on my streams. I'm a big boy. There we go. Last one. See how nice and pretty that is? This one actually feels pretty clean. That's the other nice thing. If you clean your own fish, if you get really good at it, you don't have to do this because you won't leave any bones. Yeah, I usually do a stream at night. I just wanted to talk about that police thing, and then when my son was talking about how he wanted to eat, it reminded me that I told my wife I was going to prep the food for dinner. Because our family is notorious for it. If we don't prep, we end up eating out. So, but by all means, if you folks, if you're tired of watching me prep food and you feel like you've gotten everything out of the stream that you want, do not feel forced to stay. That is one thing I said from the beginning. I'm currently not monetized, and I'm not really super close to being monetized. So you staying is just you staying out of the kindness of your heart. And by no means am I going to feel like I'm not going to take personally if you leave. I am a grown-up. I know that watching someone pick bones out of salmon. See, they don't show you this part on MasterChef. They show them start doing it. They don't show that it takes 10 minutes to pick the bones out of the salmon. Just picturing Gordon Ramsay watching all 30 of his people that are there at MasterChef sit and pick bones for 20 minutes out of salmon. You know that dude, you know that he's getting bored after a while. I just imagine that he's gonna go like mess with him a little bit. I have never used fish oil for lubing a weapon. I've used it to preserve things. I've used like animal lard to preserve things before. There we go. Steak teriyaki now. It's good stuff. Sound of my poodle deciding she doesn't want to be outside anymore. Okay. Rinse off our stuff. Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you're going to prep food, when you're done prepping, whatever you're prepping, wash off everything immediately. You're going to forget. That's why I'm doing it. I know I'm on a live stream. I know that, you know, oh, here, I'll clean this up later. No, I'm not going to do that. This is fish. It's going to get stinky if I don't do it right. I don't take care of it. And it takes 2 minutes to clean it up properly. So it doesn't stink up my house. Okay. Most of that is cleaned up. Remember we've got our rag that we used earlier. It's still wet. We can wipe this down. It's fine because we had it on the cutting board. So the cutting board didn't let any. Yes, I will let the dogs in just a minute. I will let the dogs in just a minute. And then we'll go back downstairs and I'll probably end up ending the stream. But I might just keep it up and talk to you guys. I don't know. So again, if you do not have a really good kitchen knife, go get one. This one is the Meissen knife. I can't remember how much I spent. I've had this knife for about 4 years. I'm pretty sure that I spent probably close to $100 on this knife. If you cook a lot, you should have at least one really good kitchen knife that is not cheap, that doesn't just come with, like your knife set. And as I said, I'm not scaling my fish because I'm gonna air fry it. And we'll probably just end up, okay, and then all you do, you'll see, the reason I use the Ziploc bags is because I can close this most of the way, get all that moisture out of there, and then there we go. Now it's nice and sealed, the marinade. We'll get into all the different little bits and pieces. I'm going to throw this into my fridge. And I'm going to air fry it later today. I air fry my fish at about 390 degrees for about 15 minutes. That should be all, because fish can be eaten raw, so if it's a little undercooked, it won't hurt you. It's like I said, it's been thoroughly flash frozen. Oh, did I say moisture? Yeah, it's very moist inside that bag. There's not air. That is the correct terminology. Yeah, you could vacuum seal it. I just wouldn't it's only going to be in there for like 4 hours. So in my mind, it's like, why vacuum seal it if you're just going to throw it away? I don't want to get out all the gear to vacuum seal it when I can just quickly do that with a Ziploc bag and get 98% of what I want. Okay, come on, dogs. There they are, guys. This is Ash. Our black dog is Ash. He's named after Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. This is our American Standard Poodle, Coco. She's named after Coco because she's brown. Okay. Hi, Coco. Hi, dogs. Okay. So I'll show you the rest of the recipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make those salmon bowls. So I'll start cooking some rice. What I like to do is with our rice, when I cook it for this, because we're doing it kind of Asian style, I will put some of this which is seasoned rice vinegar. I'll put some of that in my water for when I cook the rice. By the way, everyone should have a rice cooker. Don't cook rice on the stove. Just cook it in a cooker. You don't have to have a $50 one or whatever like I have, or $40 one. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by my own walkings. Just buy a rice cooker. They're like 20 bucks at Walmart. And then what we'll have also is we'll cut up some fresh green onion. We have some salads here. We probably won't even use the mixings of those salads. Like we might do, I think we'll keep the dill pickle, but like this Buffalo Ranch one, we're not going to use the insides of that. We'll just cut it up and I'll make a dressing with some, I know Uncle Roger would be mad because I'm going to put salad in it, but I'm not making fried rice. I'm just making regular rice. But I'll make that salad and I'll make like a teriyaki dressing with some vinegar and some sesame oil and some more of that gochujang in the teriyaki sauce. But then this is the other one. This is the other easy part. So this is, I think these are from Trader Joe's, these sheet pan vegetables. Sorry. Sheet pan vegetables. They're already pre-seasoned. It's got all kinds of good stuff in it. Just take it and throw it in the oven. Throw it in the oven. Really easy. Okay. Take it, throw it in the oven on a sheet pan. And then you've got your root vegetables. You've got your... I put a little bit, so I do the water, but I do like half a cup of that rice vinegar. It just gives it a little seasoning and it makes it a little bit sticky, which is nice for these rice bowls. It's basically a way to cheat and make sushi rice with like any other kind of long grain rice. I don't have green beans. Can't make green beans. I don't have green beans. So, there we go. I ate kind of a later breakfast, so I'm probably not going to eat lunch. I might have like a little snack. But checking work. Yep. That was my lunch break for work. As I prepped dinner. That's typically how lunch breaks go for me. Prep dinner. So, that was a fun adventure, right? Got it. Inactive tabs, get a new look. So yeah, so I'll cook that. I'll air fry that salmon at about 390 degrees. I put down, they make like, you can get them like on Amazon or whatever, but you get like these little liners. I'll make the rice, and then as soon I'll cook the sheet pan vegetables while the rice is cooking. No, my dogs are sit at home and bark at everything that comes near the house or knocks on the front door. Dogs, that's what they are. I'm gonna charge this one now too. All right. So, yeah, so I'll cook the rice. While the rice is cooking, I'll cook those sheet pan vegetables. I'll air fry the salmon, and then I'll cut up the onions. Oh, I'll show you. It's Snecky, the tactical snack. It's my 10 hours of real small arms gunfire. So because I get footage of, shooting my guns, whenever I go, I try to make a new ASMR, just long form video. What's funny is this has been viewed 583 times. And I have not viewed it 583 times. That's for sure. So somebody likes it somewhere. What I would be interested in knowing is how much time is actually spent watching it. And then I have the other one that's the sound reloading. So want to make sure that I'm not. Okay. Okay. So what I do is one of my other accounts is what I always watch. Yeah, so if you ever want sound reloading ASMR, or if you want guns firing, and those are my guns. It's the AK-47, the ARs, and my handguns. The shotgun is not in there. You would know if the shotgun was in there. But that's what we do. So yeah, we'll go over the recipe again. Fresh salmon. It can be flash. When I say fresh, I mean like not. That's what we do. So yeah. Wait. Go over the recipe again. Fresh salmon can be flash. When I say fresh, I mean like. Got it. Sorry. I will search people snagging at Dumas. Marinate your salmon in whatever you want. I did a teriyaki marinade today. And then when I take it out, I'll actually season it. I'll put some ginger and I'll put some black pepper and some garlic powder and probably a little bit of salt. But yeah, and then when we serve it, we'll cut it up into like steaks. 390 degrees for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Make your rice, mix in your mixed vegetables, and like I said, I'll have that salad kit. I like to put the salad in without any seasoning or any dressing on it because I like the way that tastes. It adds a nice little fresh textural thing. So that's what I do, and that's how we make our salmon bowls in our house. And I think if I remember right, I did the calorie once on it. The calories once on it. If you do a cup of, yeah, you absolutely can. Depending on the air fryer, that one's a little bit bigger. It's the Ninja Grill air fryer. So it's still just an air fryer, but it's got like, instead of just a basin, it's got like a grill pad in it, and so it cooks a little bit differently. Evan, it's my guns. It's my guns firing. It's another video of my guns. So I always have background noise. I either have my guns being reloaded or it's my guns being shot. Because I can't put music in the background because that's not allowed. So it's okay. But yeah, the calories on that, I think if you do 3/4 of a cup of rice, 3/4 of a cup of the mixed veggies, I think it's like 6 ounces of the salmon, and like 3/4 of a cup of the salad mix without any dressing. If you do that, as it's prepared right now, you're just over 500 calories. And you get a lot. Like, that will make a lot of food. So if you're trying to be good, if you're trying to eat a little bit low calorie, that's a really filling, really enjoyable meal that you can use or that you can make. Again, that took, what was it? That was maybe 45 minutes of prep, and that's what most of the work is just getting the bones out of that salmon. You can use any fish that you want. You can do it with shrimp. You can do it with chicken. I've done that same meal with like chicken thighs or chicken breasts. Bro, me too. I'm married to one. Welcome, Top G. If I could have any civilian market gun free under $2,000, what am I picking? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me think about this. It started at noon. It's been 2 hours. It says 2 hours on my thing. Dude, Evan, we do streams. I do streams like almost every night, and I'll go for like, I've done 12-hour streams. It's not unusual for me to leave my stream up, start it at night, sleep for 6 hours, get up, and then do another 3 hours in the morning. You do not have to stay. Oh no, my internet. I accidentally knocked down my access point. Did I lose internet? No, I didn't. Okay. Maybe. I might have. Nope, still good. Okay. It's my ubiquity access point. Anyhow. So, dude, you can go. You're good. You don't have to feel like you have to stay. I don't want you to feel that way. That's all right. Dogwoman's he keeps the stream going. But what's the, he. I can't remember, Dogwoman, if you were a dude, because you have a couple of accounts. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a boy or girl. So, Top G, welcome. Thank you. I hope you like guns and food. We just prepped some spicy teriyaki salmon to make spicy teriyaki salmon bowls for dinner tonight with my family. Back to the question at hand. 2K, what are you picking? Okay. I need to think about this one. What do I... I'm probably going to get an MP5. I'm going to get an MP5. Oh, so Evan, I'm a network engineer. I used to work for that company, Ubiquity. I used to work for them, and so I have like 7 access points that are set up with minimum RSSI and non-overlapping channels, so that in case one of them goes down, my whole internet doesn't die. I've got one here. There's one in my other room over there. There's 2 or 3 more upstairs. Like we have very stable Wi-Fi in my house. To give you an idea. There we go. We're gonna do this. I can tell that access point is currently connected on 2.4 gigahertz, just based on that. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Those are all the devices. I have 34 devices currently connected on my Wi-Fi network. So if I go to my Unify devices and I click on, that is, that's an HD. What? This is my SHD, right? Stop holding your phone. Something's not right. Something is wrong. So see this wireless access point right here. Should be connecting to this one over here. But it's not. This one is connecting to my son's wireless access point. We're going to change the settings on this. No. Hello? Evan, I pay about $75 a month for my internet. Hello, Simba. How's it going, buddy? That's what I mean is that was slow. 60 up and down is slow for my network. Here's what I mean. This is my daughter's gaming computer. Hey, why did that turn off? That shouldn't have turned off. Okay. So I should be able to go speed test. We'll do speed test by Ookla. So here is my daughter's gaming computer. I should be getting about half to 2/3 of this speed. That's what I should be getting. I should be getting like 450 to 650 in that other room. But what's happened is the wireless access point in my office. Hey, Ava. The wireless access point in my office is set up on a wireless mesh. So it receives its wireless connectivity from another access point. It's supposed to get it from this one, but it's getting it from the one in my son's room, and the one in my son's room gets it wirelessly from another one. Ooh. Where are you at, Evan? Evan, are you here? You're in Little Rock. Okay. Can you see the dogs? Are we live again? Woo! Okay, we're live again. We're live again. Can you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you need my assistance? So I'm trying to get my... Shouldn't be doing that. Come on. There we go. Come on. Sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi is being really weird all of a sudden. Quotac Xavier. How's it going? Redacted note. Hello. I'm trying to troubleshoot my internet right now. Do this. I think IWI is awesome. And to re-answer the question about the MP5, I would want an HK. I know that SP5s do go on sale for just under 2,000 every once in a while. They're usually right around 2,300, but I've seen them go on sale for under 2,000. Okay, let's do this. Game over. There we go. Oh, come on. Don't give me that. There we go. Come on. You're not isolated. No, I will agree with. I'll agree with Dangerous on that. I know that they're civilian products. I know that you can buy their semi-automatic military grade stuff, but it costs quite a bit more. Baba Booey. Dude, I hope so. I tried to do that on my short that I did this morning, and it got hit with a copyright. So that's why I had to delete it and then create a new short where I kind of sang a different song where I said some of the words to the to their song. If you listen in the background of my short that I made this morning, I'm saying something like, I'm singing about Bully Holly, but it's not this. It's something stupid like that. I'm the first stream that's actually answered your questions. That actually makes me mad. It makes me mad to hear that there are people that are out there that don't interact with their chat. Like, that is one thing that I really have prided myself in, is going out of my way to make sure I like it, Casual. I really don't like when I hear, like, when people don't interact. Go for it, Dog Woman. I'm just seeing that like Dog Woman left like 15 minutes ago. No, I mean like I'm excited because I'm so close to getting monetized. So I am really excited when that happens because I've also read that once you get monetized, you start to grow more because people see that monetization and they'll go in, oh, these guys are monetized. This guy's serious, or this gal's serious, or whatever. So I'm excited for that because it's kind of like I hit 500 subs, and I remember to go from what felt like forever was 0 to 500, and then from 500 to 1,000 was really fast, and I felt like I went from 1,000 to 2,000 in almost the. Yeah, I can't stand, like, I get it. You're there to, like, you're using that as a platform to make some extra money. I make pretty good money right now. So if I don't make tons of money, like really, if I get monetized, it's going to be to buy the guns that the chat says, hey, you should buy this gun. Okay. I'm going to go take a day off and go do a range day. Wyatt, how's it going? Welcome. I've never seen you here before. How are you? Like that, it's not that hard to like, I get it. If I had like 750 people watching my stream, probably it would be a lot easier. It's a lot easier to try to interact with the thing. Who is your old account? Who was it? Exactly. I'm like you're here. You guys are the ones that make it so that I want. If I was still at like 500 subscribers now, like I was in the end of January, I would probably be like, I'm probably not going to do the live stream thing. I'm probably just going to make videos and post them every once in a while. You were a hunter? Yeah, he's come in here a few times, and he'll say things, and then I'll say something, and then he doesn't ever respond back. And I get it, he's busy, but yeah, I'm not about that. I try to interact. Hunter, so I have a rule. I don't make people mods unless they have been to at least 5 streams and interacted. I get that you're talking about being Hunter. I know a couple of my subscribers that are Hunter. But I can't just make you a mod because that's true. I don't have a mod in right now. Let me. Baba Booey's been on a lot. Dangerous. I'm gonna make you a mod. You've been in. I've seen you in more than 5 streams, and I know Mechanic has been a mod, or I know Mechanic has been in more than 5 streams. Okay, I just gave all of you guys Jesus power on my stream. Baba Booey. Oh, FV Ordnance is up, guys. Rat's over there. He's got like 20 people on his stream. He's been going for way less time, and he has... Yeah, let's say this. I see where all of my subscribers are. I've been live for like 2 hours trying to talk to people and do stuff, but... No, don't say slurs. Don't say slurs. Don't say things like gay and retarded and things like that. That's not nice. You definitely shouldn't say gay or retarded. Hey, Ava. Ava's another one of my moderators. She's awesome. little frustrated. I'm expecting an email and I haven't gotten it yet. And I've been checking frequently on my 2 work computers. Go for it, Dangerous. Go for it. Like I said, I don't want anybody to feel obligated to stay on. I'm a big boy. I can handle people jetting. Go for it. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Why is my stuff doing that? Hey, how's it going, bud? I like it. I like it, Dangerous. I'm from Utah. How about you? That's a good question, Baba Booey. It hasn't shipped yet. Do you have the tracking info? Later, Ava. Have a good day. Hey, Tyler. Did you just get out of school? Yeah, I would cancel the order. I would cancel the order. Atik, I said I'm from Utah. I'm from the U.S. Oh, gotcha. I'm doing pretty well. Tyler, how are you, buddy? Everybody, Tyler's one of my young subscribers. He, like Ava, they are not adults, but they are, they have adult aspirations. I know a little bit about Afghanistan. Atik. What's going on, Wrath? Man, now people are starting to show up. I like it. That is also true, Casual. That is also true. Atik, are you in Afghanistan? Is that why you're asking? Are you from Afghanistan? What's your background? Oh, that's right. You're going because you're going to Arkansas. Dewey, how's it going, buddy? What are testicles? Wrath. I am the Vietnam Dewey. Dewey's the Vietnam, apparently. That's kind of frustrating. I haven't got my email that I've been waiting for. It's an Amazon special. No, it was on Black Friday. It was like a $250 scope that I got for like $125. Hey, it's Pistol Pete. I'm just gonna go ahead and make Pete I'm gonna give him magic powers now. Pete, I'm just gonna give you magic powers already. I've been on enough of your streams. I trust you. You live in Africa. Can we please send water? I'm trying. I made you a regular magic user. Don't worry, Pete. So it's a 6.5 by 20, or 6.5 to 20 by 52. I think is the eye relief on it. It's because that's my 6.5 Creedmoor. That's like my 1,200 meter gun. My 1,200 yard, 1,200 meter, whatever it is. It's one of those two. It's not quite a mile. I haven't quite done a mile. Evan, I'm gonna go ahead and refrain from giving you magic powers yet. This is your first stream that you've been on. I try to, as I said, reserve that for folks that I know are consistent and that I trust to just show me some love for like 4 or 5 streams, and then we can maybe make that happen, okay, buddy? Ezra! Thanks, Pete. I was going to say, Baba Booey, I used to have a .338 Winchester. Okay. Sorry. Man. I need to get... My phone is blowing up. Okay. Got it. Okay. Good. There we go. Now we can do this. Yellow. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Seiko TRG 42, 300 PRC. Yep, I had a Remington set. I had a 700 and 338 Winchester when I lived in Alaska. That's what I hunted moose and caribou and bears and oh my, all that with when I grew up, while I was growing up there. So, I appreciate how how 300 is a little bit flatter trajectory, but because of the animals that I was hunting, I wanted something that hit with just a little bit more mass. That's why I went 338 Win Mag. I've actually thought about getting, I want to get, I know they make, I'm a big AR guy. I'm gonna get some bolt guns eventually, but I think my next AR, I'm either gonna do just a standard 308 AR-10. I might do a 300 blackout. I know that they make 338 Federal in an AR, and I know that some places make 300 Winchester in an AR. I know I can also get 30-06 in the H car. So there's some fun things that are on my wish list. The sooner I can start making a little bit to justify putting it away and saving up. That way it's not taking away from my regular monthly budget. That's when it all. All right, later, Evan. You have a good night, man. Have a good trip. Enjoy snagging in Dumas. That's a good deal. You want to buy another pellet gun? Or you want to pay $50 and get something that'll shoot anything in the United States and knock it down so that you can eat it? Huh. Didn't think about it like that. That's a good idea. Ooh. So, sorry, I was typing a whole lot, guys. I don't have a 4570. My brother has a 4570, and I've shot it, and I've used it a couple times, and it's been in some of my videos, but... Oh, Dewey, are you talking about my bag? This is an MTAC bag from Amazon. Pretty much, Shed. So somebody posted. I wanna check out his page. Okay, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Somebody posted like 3 hours ago on one of my videos, my EDC reminder video from yesterday, which I thought was a pretty good video. as my, hey, don't forget to carry your firearm and be safe and keep it loaded and things like that. He wrote, never understood why people love acting like kids and recording themselves playing with their guns. I mean, you're free to do whatever, and I respect it. No, he doesn't, or he wouldn't have said anything. But an eerie amount of ego shines through clips like these. Humility as a firearm owner goes a long way, right? Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Of course I have ego. It's kind of like saying, it's like when someone says President Trump is the least narcissistic person on the planet. I was like, I sure hope not. I hope the dude's kind of a narcissist. He's the leader of the free fucking world. Sorry, I dropped an F-bomb. If you're going to say, hey, I think I have what it takes to be the president of an entire nation that's the size of a continent, has the largest military, nuclear reserves, Air Force, and everything in the world, you better have a little bit of a narcissistic ego. Because if you don't, you're going to get monkey stomped into the ground. So, like, whatever, he doesn't respect the fact that I did it, because anybody that talks about that I'm unsafe or that like I shouldn't have firearms or that I'm an idiot because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm like, okay. First of all, have you ever seen somebody do a one-handed press check with their either with a sighted pistol or not a sighted pistol while filming something and not shoot themselves? Okay, I've done it before. So I'm not in the Army. Not in the Army. I'm in the Air Force Reserve. So I wrote back to him. I said, that's fair, but as a 2A absolutist and as a responsible gun owner, just going to throw that right in his face right away. I said, I always want to bridge a gap between gun owners that treat their firearms like radioactive material, which if you treat your firearms like radioactive material, I highly recommend you don't do that. Because that's unhealthy and negative to the community. And I said, and people that are completely irresponsible and play with things like Glock switches and point their loaded firearms at their faces, because there's lots of that. It is why I look at home in the rolly chair. That's right. I said it's about balance. People will never want to be a part of the community and stop fearing firearms and the community at large. And we'll never be able to normalize gun ownership if we always act like a firearm is on the verge of exploding in our own hands. So I want to make sure that like I try to be very clear. And I think most of you that have seen my content, you guys know what kind of stuff I do. You guys know the kind of attitude that I have. Like, I'm a pretty chill person. I don't do things to be stupid. I will make stupid videos, but I'm not being stupid with the way that I do things, especially if the firearms involved. I'm safe with my firearms, but I also don't treat my firearm like, here's a rock. It's a rock, YouTube. Don't censor me. But I'm not like, oh my gosh, if I do anything, if I take this firearm, if I take this out of the holster with my camera in my hand and I show everybody that it is loaded, there's a chance that it will randomly explode and set my entire home on fire. So, no, it's my video, Baba Booey. It's my 10-hour shooting video. So that's what I mean. It's about finding balance. And exactly. I would rather, like, I'll say this. I'm not saying that the dudes in the videos where they're walking around, it's all of them, they've all got switches, and they're like, and they're switching their Glock switches back and forth, their extended back plates. I don't know why YouTube lets them promote it, or promotes that, because those dudes have like 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, and I'm going, how? How is this possible? Whereas me, I try to have fun and be safe, and it's like, you know, I'm fighting to get to 3,000 subs. But you know, that's beside the point. Or it's kind of beside the point. But like when people go onto my videos, they're like, "You're being an idiot. I can't believe you shot yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself. I can't believe you did that." Because I used like an overlay sound where somebody, where like you can hear it's definitely not me. One, the person sounds like they're prepubescent, and two, they are very much not of my race. All right, not trying to say that there's anything wrong with being a different race, because there's not. But you can tell a difference, and if you are not willing to acknowledge that there is a difference in the way that we sound in that particular instance, like, you're probably a little bit racist because you don't want to just acknowledge it. We sound different in the video. Like, it's just stuff like that. It's just crazy that people are, you know, they talk about me having an ego, and then they go in and they decide to say something along those lines, like you should be ashamed to even be around your children with, and it's like, oh, okay, you know who I am clearly, so thank you for that piece of advice. I will take it to heart. Now go eat a bag of dicks. It's pretty much what it is. But I interact with everybody. So yeah, I try to keep it real. So even when people leave, I always give them a thumbs up. I give everybody a thumbs up. Yeah, it was absolutely me in every video. Like the kid who had the time I lifted up my PSA dagger and showed and closed in on the part where it says PSA dagger 9x19, and then the video in the background is like, "Yo, I just found my dad's gun. I'm gonna be honest. It's a Glock 40 Australia." If you actually think that's what I sound like, you clearly have not watched any of my other videos. Even the French dude sounds, yeah. My French character sounds more realistic than that. Than saying that, like, I sound like that. So, anyways, people are idiots. It's fun. Hey, I appreciate the engagement. It's cool. I wonder how many times he watched that, getting madder and madder and madder. Oh, I'm aware. I'm very much aware, Baba Booey. Very much aware. I've been reminded many times. Actually, that's not a Glock. And I'm like, oh, I've changed half the shit in it anyway, so it's as much a Glock as yours is. So I know there are people that have stock Glocks, and my hat is off to you for being a purist. Most of the people I know that have Glocks have replaced the barrel and the trigger and put magazine wells and have different mags, or changed the springs in their mags, or added like Terran tactical extenders, or many other things that they've done. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that one video where I was like, man, I want to know, did I make a good purchase? I've also found that my videos do better if I just don't use other people's sound anymore. Yeah. For April Fools, I did that. I recorded all my guns, and I was like, this is my Glock AK, this is my Glock AR, this is my Glock pistol AR, this is my shotgun Glock, and oh man, some of the responses I got on that. And it was like so many Glocks is what I called it, I think. I can't remember. It didn't have a lot of views, but I had a fair amount of comments on it. So people are petty. They're petty and they're simple, and they just dang it. My wireless access point, I'm gonna have to go like plug it into my main switch and get it to reset and then get it to connect. So, but that's part of the fun. Part of the fun of this is like, in my mind, it's kind of Which, okay, dangerous. Do you have the stock trigger in your Palmetto? I am trying to find a not like have to cut off one of my testicles trigger for my micro dagger or for a 43X. And I have not been able to find one. I've found some that are like $150, but I'm definitely not paying $150 for a trigger. If I wanted to pay $150 for an aftermarket trigger, I would have just bought a more expensive gun that the work was already done. I'm willing to do the work. I'm not going to pay $150 for a slightly shorter or denser piece of metal and a shoe. So, because I've polished my bar a little bit. I have I've put on or polished the main bar. I polished the one bar. You just have a stock Glock trigger on it, an OEM Glock trigger. Okay, I'll have to check it out, bud. Because I've seen people go with a Shadow Systems trigger. Have you ever used the Shadow Systems trigger on their equivalent to the Glock 43X? I haven't shot the subcompact Shadow Systems. I've only shot the compact one. And the compact one was pretty clean. It felt good. Yeah, I know, and I have to get Ezra a high point. I'm getting him a yeet cannon. Actually, I need to see how much a yeet cannon costs. Yeah, I kind of like. $170 for a yeet cannon. YC9. Oh, that's the G2. I want the G3. I think it's the YC9 G3. I meant the High Point YC9 G3. Yes, I am 18. Huh. Sorry guys, I got distracted. So it is just the G2. least get the 10 millimeter. Okay. Sorry, I'm catching up to what you guys are saying. Dangerous. Okay. Yeah, I found a place where I can get an OEM trigger, like a full OEM trigger for a 43X. There's a place that has one for like, I think it was like $25. I can order one. I wasn't sure because I was thinking about getting either the OEM trigger, because I know if I did the OEM trigger, I can at least change some things. I've had experience with Taurus and I have experience with 10 millimeter. I say go for it, dude. I say go for it. But I just want to get him like a pistol that he can have when he turns 18, that isn't overly expensive, that we can throw a cheap red dot on and let him go to town, let him have it, let him use it, let him train on it. If he can learn to shoot well with a high point, he'll be able to shoot a Glock or anything else that's out there. So I'm not moving to Maryland, folks. Hey, that's cool. Delta Team Tactical, one of my favorites. They have muzzle devices on sale for as low as $7. Oh, they've got the 8.6 blackout upper for $325. Ugh. Roy, that is a great question, Roy. LAPD hasn't put anything out except their initial statement. I know that's what was here. So I've kind of done some deductive reasoning with the way that the statements have gone. Yeah, she didn't want to make them sandwiches. Let me pull up the article and I'll tell you what it says. It's actually kind of funny what it describes, and then you can kind of deduce, I think, what I deduced. That's what the police said. Let's make sure that we're quoting what the article. So I'll read the article. There's like 15 people in here. Here we go. If you didn't hear this earlier, I'm going to read the article. Jillian Lauren, the wife of Weezer bassist, Jillian Warren Schreiner, wife of Weezer bassist, was shot by the LAPD. Los Angeles PD have booked Jillian Lauren, an author and the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner, on suspicion of attempted murder after an extraordinary sequence of events. This is from NPR, by the way. Sequence of events that included officers shooting at and wounding Lauren in the yard of her home. So she was shot in her yard in front of her house for attempted murder. Lauren suffered a non-life-threatening injury because the cops didn't know how to shoot her right. When she was shot, because cops don't shoot to do non-life-threatening injuries, they shoot to neutralize completely. Her husband was not involved in the incident. She was released on bond Wednesday, and a court date has been set for April 30th. NPR's request for information from her lawyers and representatives and the LAPD are still emerging. It started with a car crash. California Highway Patrol officers were pursuing 3 suspects who fled the scene of a misdemeanor hit and run. Let's make sure that they know it was a misdemeanor, so it's not a big deal. On the Ventura Freeway Tuesday, when they radioed for backup around 3:25 p.m. local time, according to a news release from the LAPD. The suspects ran into the nearby Eagle Rock neighborhood west of Pasadena. A suspect was seen running behind a house on Waldo Place, the cul-de-sac street where Lauren lives. When officers reached the backyard of a house where the suspect was seen, they saw a woman, later identified as Lauren, holding a pistol in a neighboring yard. She's referred to as Jillian Lauren Schreiner in police documents. The officers ordered Schreiner to drop the handgun numerous times, however, she refused. The news release said Schreiner then pointed the handgun at the officers, and an officer-involved shooting occurred. Lauren, 51, went into her house after being struck by gunfire, according to the official account. Local TV news helicopters, which had been hovering above the area of the car crash, showed the scene as Lauren emerged from her home. She and another woman laid face down on the ground, and officers placed handcuffs on Lauren. The handcuffs were later removed as Lauren was put on a stretcher and lifted into an ambulance. Police say she was treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to her shoulder, according to local channel KTLA. The LAPD says a 9mm handgun was found at Lauren's home. Lauren was not involved with the hit and run, police say, but because of the encounter with police in her yard, she was an absentee book. They booked her in the hospital instead of being processed in the jail. As for the hit and run crash, one of the 3 suspects was detained, cited, and released by California Highway Patrol. So they were given a ticket and let go for the hit and run that they detained. All 3 of them ran away. So the other woman maybe, and they gave her a ticket. Didn't cite her for breaking and entering, didn't cite her for trespassing on private property, none of that. They gave her a ticket for the hit and run. Jillian Lauren has written several memoirs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it tells a little bit about her. Okay, I'm reading that on NPR. Somebody was asking about it. All right. She was remotely booked. Well, they put her in handcuffs, and then they took her in the ambulance. So she wasn't booked. She wasn't arrested, but she was remotely booked for attempted murder. So here's why I take issue with this situation. All right. 1, the cops shot at her. So if the cops are shooting the way that cops are trained, she should be dead. 100% she should be dead, because police officers shoot to neutralize. So how many cops shot? If there were more than 1 cop, both of them should have been shooting. So they're terrible shots and need to spend time on the range. If you're going to shoot at someone, you shoot to neutralize, which means they're going to probably be dead. So let's establish that first. Second, I'm going to use my rock again. If somebody breaks into my yard or comes over to my house, starts banging on the doors and windows because they're trying to get away, or starts trying to break into... I explained this, Evan. There were people that asked about it. So if somebody's doing that, and I'm in my house and I go answer the door with a gun and they start running off when they see that I have a gun, you bet I'm going to go outside and say, hey, you freeze, you don't move. And then I'm going to call the cops. If I'm pointing my gun at this person who was just trying to break into my home, and the cops show up and I'm pointing my gun at the person and I say, there's a person there by my fence that's by where you are. I'm pointing my gun at them so they don't run away. I'm not going to move my gun. If you want to come over here and take it from me, you can. Or if you want to send an officer around or look at what's going on. Like, I'm going to talk. If they say, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. All right? Or if I'm going to raise my hands when they say, put the gun down, like this. Okay, there's someone in my yard that tried to break into my house, so I grabbed my gun and I heard the sirens, so I came outside and told them to freeze so that you could arrest them. Put the gun down. Okay, but there's still someone that was trying to break into my house, and I don't know if they were trying to hurt me or not. Please put the gun down. Okay, if I do that to go put the gun down and then they just shoot at me, I'm not saying that I would do that. I'm saying if that's what she did and then they unload on her, I hope she sues the shit out of LAPD. Wait. Are you telling me I need to go to gun safety training courses? Justin? How long have you been in the chat? How long have you been listening? Have you ever held someone up with a gun before? Because I've been in situations where I've pointed guns at people and done everything I could to detain them. All right? And they've been detained. So I have a little bit of experience in this. So that's why I'm taking a big issue with it. So please, Justin, you're here in the chat. Please, by all means, explain what you mean by sure, dude. Go take some gun safety training courses. Crashing it's over there like, yeah, here. Here, Crashing It. Do you see what that says? Okay. Do you see what that says? I don't know if you're laughing at me or laughing at Justin. If you're laughing at me, I think that's evidence enough. There we go. Not my first rodeo. Spent 2 years. So I got a printer. Oh my gosh. It said, nice try, OSI. And then it said tech sergeant, and I covered up my name. And it said where I was deployed in Qatar and, done stuff with the Army and, 2-year deployments here and there. And that's fine. It's fine. I don't have to justify myself to him. Anyway, so if, having been on the other side of that, if someone has a gun up in their hands like this, like, you're cautious, you're very cautious, but you also use situational awareness. So they've got a hand like that. You say, go ahead and toss your gun to the side. You give them some kind of instruction that says, but you're also listening to what they say. If they're yelling, there's someone in my yard who is trying to break into my house, you go, okay, there's something going on. There's a reason this lady is out in her yard with a gun. Let's try to figure out what's going on. You talk to them. But again, okay, now if she's doing this, then yeah, you probably shoot at her. There's a big difference between this and this, or this, or this, or this. Okay? You go to training to learn how to evaluate body movement and body behavior and human behavior. If there's a woman screaming hysterically, she's probably not trained to be like mentally stable enough to go, okay, so if I go like this and I aim my gun like this and then I turn this way, I can start pulling the trigger and I'll probably shoot at the cops. Like, if she wanted to hurt the cops and they came over the corner like that, she would have just started shooting at the cops. I don't know if you've ever seen cops in a shootout. They don't show up and then the person's like this and they have the gun in their hand and then they're calm and I don't want to do anything. There's that, yeah, I'm going to just start running and shooting. That's what always ends up happening. So, again, I have questions as to why, one, they booked her on attempted murder. So did she know the person? Did she have premeditated thoughts of how can I kill this person? Those things don't make sense to me. You don't book someone on attempted murder unless there was premeditation there. Second, why is she still alive if the cops shot at her and she was attempting to murder someone? You don't shoot to wound, you shoot to neutralize. Every police agency teaches that. by all means, if you are a police officer, I agree, but it's whether or not they practice it is different. But I guarantee you they weren't aiming at this part of her body. Nobody was aiming at her shoulder where she took a wound, or either shoulder. I don't know which shoulder it was. But they said she was treated for a wound in her shoulder, which technically is anything within 3 inches of the cap of your shoulder up to your clavicle. Although I believe that if it goes past the 2-inch mark on here, then it's considered an upper chest wound. It's considered a chest wound. So they weren't aiming at not center of mass. These dudes were aiming center of mass. 100% they were aiming center of mass. And they sucked because it didn't say multiple gunshot wounds. It said a gunshot wound to the shoulder. And it said a 9mm gunshot wound. So it was a handgun, because cops don't carry around pistol caliber carbines. And cops also don't shoot just once. Snipers sometimes do. SWAT does. So again, anyone who's a cop or been a cop or worked with law enforcement, because I've worked with DEA and ICE and Border Patrol and Customs Patrol and MPs and Air Force OSI. So the 90-day course comes out. The 90-day course, and then the every 90 days requalifying with their pistol, or they have to hit 25 out of 50 shots. That one. I hear you, Baba Booey. But that's what I mean. If there's someone who has more law enforcement experience, I know plenty of ex-military who are also not good shots, Will and Megan. But that's where I'm like, if anyone has more experience than that, I would love to hear their take. I'm not saying that she was right. I don't think she was right, okay, for not just complying when they said, put the gun down. But I'm also not going to go so far as to say that LAPD handled the situation in an intelligent manner. I'm very eager to see the body camera footage of this. Hey, Jesus, what's going on? So let's see. Crashing It and Justin, do either of you want to... Yeah, agreed, dangerous. Yeah, I mean, I was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force for 8 years, and I have been an IT guy, a cybersecurity guy, for the last 12. I can outshoot most of the security forces Air Force dudes and MP dudes that I know in the Army. So, and it's not because the Air Force trained me how to shoot. I get to shoot once a year with the Air Force. So, and I'm guessing, dangerous, that you have a similar experience. The Army and Air Force, unless your job is to shoot, they don't teach cops how to shoot in the military because they don't want them to shoot, because technically they're still part of the ground force, and if they do that, unless they're on the property, and even if they are, unless they're assaulting someone and then it's a defense of someone in danger, or their mortal life is in danger, it gets really fuzzy with MPs and military cops, because they're technically still part of the military, which is a combatant, a military combatant firing on a non-combatant. There's a lot of messiness with cops shooting people when they're military cops, unless they're entering a restricted area where they're not just cops, but they're actually the posted security for that military. It's a whole thing. I've had to learn about this because I manage classified areas, and I know who's allowed to come into them, and who carries weapons, and who's not allowed to carry weapons, and what it all is. Yeah. So, that's what I mean. I think there's a lot of questions in this thing. I think that the LAPD had the right to shoot her if she pointed a gun at them. But I don't know that. I don't know, I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see what the circumstances are, because I get it. I get it. Somebody has a gun. They're not listening, and you're telling them to comply, and they're not listening. I'm not necessarily against the police shooting an individual like that. I get it. But I also question when a situation like that happens and the person is only wounded and it's like a not life-threatening wound, and then they're charged with murder, but the original presence of the police being there was for something completely unrelated. And it was like a homeowner in an area. Like, there's just so much going on with this. Like, I think we're going to find that there was some major incompetence on the LAPD's part. Jason, which map? I have two. Oh, and this is also for that other person. That is a map of China, or part of China. That's a tactical pilot chart. And that is a map of the USSR and Afghanistan. Right there, that little corner, you see that kind of that black portion in the middle of the map that's next to the river, and then it goes down. That is where Mazar-e Sharif is, and then up there is some old. I think they've been renamed, but they were all they're all Soviet cities. And then that dense population center between the shotgun barrel and the AR-10 barrel, that's actually Wuhan. So this is a map of Wuhan, China. That is one of the things that I'm going to do. I've got some more of these maps. I'm gonna get some more later. I've got them in my locker at my reserve unit. I'm going to get some more of these maps. And once I get monetized, that's going to be one of the first giveaways, is I'm going to give away some old military pilot chart maps, because cool old maps like that are cool. And then maybe I'll try to get some of my old... No, you're good. Maybe try to get some more of the patches you see on the wall there. I can actually show you some of my deployment patches. So if anybody's ever been deployed, they know what I mean when I say everybody kind of tries to get like morale patches. People get patches to feel good. So this is one that I got from the French Air and Space Force. That's the Fighting Cock patch. That's from some Intel folks. It's the Honey Badger. Be kind, be hard to kill. This is a Space Force patch. They had that one. That was kind of fun. Yes, foreign. If you're familiar with military, you get the joke behind this. It's pretty funny. If you know what 5i is, then you'll get that joke. I used to work for the F-22 program office, and I worked there when the F-22 got its first kill on that Chinese balloon. We built the cybersecurity policy for these folks when I was in Qatar, and CFK stands for Com Flyaway Kit. And one of the master sergeants, she liked to play Pokemon with me, and so we designed a patch that was a Pokemon. That's a Dedenne. That's Grogu. That's Uncle Iroh. I can't remember what which patch that's from. That's when I was attached to fighters and advanced aircraft. Again, that's when I was attached to the F-22 program office. If you've been to Qatar, you know who Pizza Cat is. I'm way past the subs. I need the watch time, dog. That's my Army space patch. I made some really good friends that did Army cyber and Army space stuff, like air defense. And so the joke was I called them Space Army, just like we have Space Force. Called them Space Army, right there. That's the 169th Air Detection Squadron in Hawaii. They do some space stuff, and they work with F-22 program at Hickam. Yeah, watch hours on these live streams. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to step on you. Oh, this is one of my airmen. She was attached to the 55th Cyberspace Squadron. in South Dakota, and she designed this patch for them. So that's their patch. You know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy behind that joke. Yes. So. Yeah, shorts don't count towards the overall watch time. And then so I kind of had this. I became known as, that's the other joke with the Baba Yaga. I gained the nickname Baba Yaga because while we were at Qatar, like people would try to do things with the cyber systems, or they would just plug stuff in, and I would like walk in because I was cleared to go into pretty much everywhere that I needed to. If I found out somebody plugged something in and was using something, I would literally just walk in and I would unplug it and leave. Or I would have like all their accounts revoked until they redid things. If there was like a spillage of classified data from one network to another, then I was the one that went and showed up. I said, okay, so you decided to do something stupid. So, anyhow, fun times. I know, can't get monetized stepping on dogs. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave my stream up. I'm gonna do this. I gotta go pick up my daughter from school. It is time to go get her. It is pumpkin time at this house. So I'm gonna go get my daughter. I'll be back in a bit. Actually, I'm not gonna leave the stream up. I was gonna leave the stream up, but I'm gonna go ahead and go. We've been streaming for like 3 hours. I'm gonna take a break. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody that stayed the whole length of time. Jesus, I don't know that I've ever done arc and scopes, but I'll have to look into it. I need people to send me, like, go onto my other socials or comment on any of my videos or whatever and make some recommendations on scopes and glass. I need yeah, I'll do the late stream too. I have written up lots of people for security violations. Well, not for violations, because that's a bigger deal. So it's security infractions, because it's like security infraction, incident, and then violation. A violation implies that you did it on purpose, and an infraction implies you did it on accident. An incident implies that it may have been overseen. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon. Thanks for spending the last 3 hours with me. I appreciate it. Thanks for liking. If you are new, thank you for subscribing. Go check out some of my other stuff. Have fun. Always carry every day. Always keep around in the chamber. And yeah, I'll see you later. If you guys have a wish list of firearms or glass or things you would like to see me talk about or do, you can reach out to me on any of my social medias. You can see them all on my splash page, or just comment on any of my videos. I reply to everyone. Literally, I reply to everyone. So you guys have a wonderful afternoon this Thursday. The weekend starts tomorrow, which is nice. Just remember, stand up for your kids, even if it means you're being less than a perfect parent. Because you're a parent, not a friend. Be below average. Later, everybody. Thanks.